Hey folks, Deano here again. This time with a figure I quite honestly forgot I had ordered. um, yeah, this is the Super Saiyan 3 Trunks from a brand new studio called 3S, or Triple S. I think it's pronounced 3S. But yeah, brand new to the third party slash bootleg scene. I'd say slash bootleg because, well, we will find out about that soon. But yeah, uh, obviously I'd been following this like Super Saiyan 3 Trunks for quite some time. It was announced away last year. I think I even put up a post about it, and I know for a fact Burst ZG did. But yeah, I honestly forgot about it. And then it stealth released just after Christmas, I think. Like the start of January. I pre-ordered a couple of them. Quickly found out that 3S were having a bit of trouble with their quality control, so they actually held back most of the figures, which will now be an April release. But yeah, the standard coloured one, that's the one that I didn't manage to get a hold of. That's the one they held back. This one, I completely forgot I'd ordered, but I am actually really glad I got it, despite the issues which we will discuss. Don't worry. But yeah, this is their I would assume it's called version B or something like that. The main version is like his standard colour scheme with the vest and the trousers in a sort of grey. His boots and belt are in the normal mustardy colour, and the Super Saiyan 3 hair is solid yellow with the white highlights. But I quite like this one, to be honest. Despite the, well, I say inaccurate colour for the boots and the belt, but apparently the trunks this is from, I think it's a version of Dragonball AF. I quite honestly haven't really looked into it that much. But yeah, it's accurate to that, I think. But yeah, not really my cup of tea with the colour scheme. But I love the hair. Like, I absolutely adore what they've done with the hair. It's a kind of translucent, kind of frosty, with a sort of white highlight on the end of it. I really, really like it. And it catches the light really well, also. But yeah, obviously, link will be in the description if you want to, well, I suppose, pre-order this guy now. If I can find any more in stock, I will put it in the description as well. But I think at this point, this version is the only one that is in stock in the particular store that I ordered from. I think it's Anime Life Toy Store. So yeah, but without further ado, let's take a look at the box and stop me droning on. So yeah, the box, I'll be honest, is a bit bizarre. It's a very big box. Obviously they had to accommodate the Super Saiyan 3 hair, which I will talk about once we get to the figure, don't you worry. But yeah, you've got the 3S logo, or Triple S logo, at the top right. S001A, so I think I was right. A, B, and C, 3 different versions. And just a black and white image of Super Saiyan 3 Trunks looking badass. I'm not entirely sure why he took inspiration from like this fan manga when he could have just used Super Saiyan 3 Trunks from Dragonball Heroes. In my opinion, that is the most badass looking Trunks, and is quite honestly the version that I'm going to kit bash using this. You remember that cloth jacket I bought? Yeah. But yeah, image there. On one side, we have what I would assume is Trunks powering up to Super Saiyan 3, and this Dabura looking guy with a pig nose and a 2-star Dragon Ball in his head. Is he a sort of dark dragon? Like GT? I honestly don't know. I haven't looked into this. At the bottom, this product is not a toy, only for adult collection display. Small parts should not be put in the mouth. I mean, I would agree with that. Especially considering the fact that this guy was incredibly greasy. I think he's been well lubed up, shall we say. Plus he's got an awful smell. I'll be honest, I think it's the type of plastic they used. I think it's PVC for the hair and the vest. But yeah, that absolutely stinks. But yeah, we've got some more images here. The 3S logo there as well. And yeah, it turns out Dabura looking guy is a sumo wrestler. Who would have guessed? I have no idea what's going on there. Another image on the side. And tips: if the hand is too tight, do not use brute force. I can attest to that. Having had to take the gloved hands off, yeah, you really need hot water whenever you're changing those. I hope that's something they're working on for the the second batch, I would assume. Completely different logo on the top, the 3S logo. I actually think that looks cooler than the one they've used on the sides. And on the side we have the 4 different versions. Apologies, I thought there was only 3. Turns out there is a 4th. We've got yellow, which is the standard version, the one that looks like future Trunks. Transparent yellow, which is the one I got. Red, which is basically Super Saiyan God 3 Trunks. And it also comes with extra heads that are also red. And then pink, which is Trunks Black, I would assume. Rosé Trunks Black. That's a strange one. I know for a fact that one wasn't in stock. I didn't see that anywhere. So yeah, that is it for the packaging. Let's take a look at the accessories, for which I will probably do 2 sections, because he comes with a metric ton of hands. Not even joking, he's got 6 sets skin tone and 6 sets for the gloves. So yeah, let's take a look at those. And here they all are. First off, I do have to apologise. Obviously, the fist hands are on him. And since I am mid-recording, I can't go and dip him in hot water for a minute. So yeah, on top of the skin tone, he does come with the fists. Just bear that in mind. But yeah, I was mistaken. He comes with 5 sets of the gloved hands and 6 for the skin tone. So yeah, still an insane amount, to be honest. Especially considering he also comes with 2 extra heads and multiple faces for the Super Saiyan 3. But yeah, for the gloved hands, we have fists, which are on him in the package. A pair of Big Bang style Ki Blast hands. I'll tell you something, these are going to be amazing for Vegeta's. Finally, we have some 3.0 gloved hands that aren't Kong Studios slash Beast Deities. So yeah, we have Big Bang style. I think these are copied from the Tonson Toys hands. These look like the same ones that grab the sheath of the sword. Pair of sort of Kamehameha style crunched hands, and then pair of splayed open Ki Blast hands. And we also have the glove sleeves, which is an interesting way to do it. Means you can just basically take off the gloves whenever you want to. But yeah, for skin tone, we have a pair of Ki Blast style hands in Big Bang style. Interestingly, not the same style as the gloved ones, I think most of these hands are actually for the burning attack, now that I look at this more closely. So we get the Big Bang style hands, we've got these martial arts posy style hands, a pair of full-on key blast style hands, and two pairs of hands for the sword, one angled, one pair angled, one pair just standard. We also have two watches, which I personally won't be using because they are quite thick and get in the way, mostly. Let's see if I can focus this a little. So yeah, you can just about make out the clock hands, but that green has been painted on so thickly that you'd be mistaken for thinking that's just a plain face. Yeah, you get the silver, and you get the black, which, if I remember my Tonson art toys correctly, that's anime and manga colours for the watches. So yeah, handy. It's an accessory, so I will take it. And then we have what is basically his standard sword recoloured in this sort of army green design. Not really a fan of that, I'm not going to lie. Also, for reasons I can't fathom, the strap is glued in place, top and bottom, so it's an absolute nightmare getting this onto a figure. You will need to pop arms / heads off to get this on. So yeah, I wouldn't bother. Interesting part though is that the blade itself has been resculpted slightly. There's actual damage on it, which is very cool. I do like it. I also like the shade of silver that they used on it. Jump cut. Apologies, folks. I just had a coughing fit out of nowhere. No idea why. Yeah, where was I? Yeah, I also like the shade of silver that they used on it. Gives it a kind of dirty, grungy look, which really adds to the aesthetic. The wrap is grey instead of the usual brown, but you won't really notice that if you've got it in hand. So yeah, all in all, a decent little piece. And it is unique to what we have had before. So yeah, guys, that will do it for the hand sort of accessories. Let's take a look at the faces. And yeah, this is all the heads / faces that it comes with. Obviously, like obvious reasons, the Super Saiyan 3 hair is not here because it would take up the entire screen. So yeah, that is still on the figure, but is obviously included. I'll go over that more in detail once we get to the figure, don't worry. But yeah, we get 4 faces for the Super Saiyan 3 hair, and 2 alternate heads. Now, the eagle-eyed among you will notice something familiar about these faces, and that's because this figure started off using the Beast Deities Super Saiyan 3 head and face sculpts. Obviously they have been tweaked slightly, and 3S Studios have used their own like face prints or decals and such. Yeah, they are essentially the Beast Deities mould, just slightly tweaked. So we have a stern face, which looks really nice, although without the bangs or anything you'd be mistaken for thinking that was Goku. That's going to be a trend. We have smirking, looking off to the side, which is really nice. That's probably my favourite face of the bunch. It will probably be the one I'll have on him. A teeth gritted face, which for some reason the teeth don't have any added detail apart from the white, so it kind of looks a bit strange. That could have been doing with a slight wash, not gonna lie. And finally, a yelling face with a nice sharp bit of the runner still on it. Yeah, this one is probably the weakest of the bunch, and also has, I've just noticed, a nice big line running down the side of the face. I don't know if you can make that out on camera or not. It's going through the eye. But yeah, this one is by far the weakest, I think. I'm not fond of this at all. It's decent enough, but there is no expression in that yell at all. That's more like he's yawning, to be honest. But yeah, that's the faces. For alternate heads, we get this one, which is a wavy base form here, which is appreciated. It definitely is appreciated, although it could have been doing with being a bit more purple and a bit less blue. This is closer in colour to Dragon Ball Super Trunks than anything else. Plus the faces are just not great, I'm going to be honest. Plus, unfortunately, you can't even use your own faces with these guys, because, yeah, they're using the Beasties style peg system as well. So yeah, a bit disappointing there. For the Super Saiyan face, in a part 2, I may try and use the Super Saiyan Goku faces to see if those work on this, but I mean, would you even want to use this Super Saiyan head? Let's be completely honest with you. The face looks a little bit better, but it still doesn't really look like Trunks. Plus, the hair is not great. I would definitely still just go with the standard the Boy from the Future mold. Obviously, if you have the official, that is. I would assume you've got the official if you went out and bought a third party instead. But yeah, if you get the Tonsnap Toys one, just throw these in the bin. They're not going to be good. Plus, another issue is compatibility. The neck pegs, again, a bit of sprue just hanging off that, which is really nice. Yeah, these don't fit on the official or the Tonsnap sculpts, so no point even trying. Not that you'd really want to, in any case. The only one you'd maybe want to do is the Super Saiyan 3 sculpt, but you can't. It's a different sized peg. Speaking of which, the reason we have a peg here is not because it's a spare. It's because, for whatever reason, the neck peg in the Super Saiyan 3 is glued. It's just straight up glued in there. Mine's is even glued at an angle, so it doesn't quite sit straight, which is infuriating. But yeah, if you want to even use the alternate heads, you need to pop this into the body instead. So yeah, bit disappointing there, but I mean, there's only so much benefit of the doubt I can give this company, this being their first foray into the third party figure scene. But yeah, that does it for accessories. Let's take a look at the figure. So yeah, in terms of the figure itself, first things first, that hair is just 3 solid lumps of plastic stuck together with ball pegs. He cannot for the life of him stand up on his own. Thank God I bought those stands that I mentioned a couple of videos ago. Link will be in the description if you want to buy them. They really are lifesavers, and they take up literally next to no space. So yeah, but yeah, in terms of the figure, it's actually pretty decent. There's not a whole lot of paint apps going on in the body itself. There is obviously that frosting effect in the hair, but really the only painted parts would be the belt, which, I mean, it's a belt. The colour of green that they've used, this sort of army green, it's not the best looking. Let's say that. But for me, I plan on customizing this guy. The old bootleg trunks that I reviewed a while back, Boy from the Future trunks bootleg, has been sliced up, and its parts donated to my part 2. Yeah, let's just tease that, why don't we? But yeah, the green, not great. I don't really like it, gotta be honest. But yeah, apart from that, everything else is just standard. The vest, I mean, it's soft. It is a really soft, I think, PVC rubber. I just don't get why they done it. Like, the inner body is actually Beast Gohan, which is a bit strange. I mean, thinking about it, this figure screams like the same quality as the CT Toys Gohans. Not gonna lie. Down to the plastic quality, it really does. Which doesn't really bode well considering the fact this is double the price of those. But yeah. But yeah, the inner torso is Beast Gohan's inner torso. So yeah, if anything, this is a kit bash. But yeah, the hair, as I said before, started off as Beast Deities. They have tweaked it to be like their own sort of sculpt, but you can see the Beast Deities sculpt in there. It's also not as mobile as if they would have left it just as a Beast Deities. The sort of ball hinges are still in there. They just don't do anywhere near as much as the Beast Deities one do. But yeah, it still sits nicely enough. Just bear that in mind. But yeah, overall, it could be better. I hope their future releases, I think they're doing a Dragonball Heroes Bardock Super Saiyan 3, but they're not using the Zeno armor. Why? Yeah, for some reason they're using the Warrior in Black Bardock with sort of vest and stuff. Which is fair enough. We're getting a Super Saiyan 3 Bardock. I hope it's better quality than this guy. Putting that out there. I just wish someone would do a Zeno Bardock. I mean, you can do 2 figures in one. You can do a Mass Saiyan Bardock. I don't understand why companies don't want to do it. Anyway, but yeah, the quality is decent. It's just not up to par with, say, Demoniacal Fit or Tonson. Sculpt-wise, at least. But yeah, in terms of articulation, I'll take him off the stand so I can show it off a bit better. But yeah, the head can go down that far. You can see the hair goes really far out. Doesn't touch his back, unfortunately, and it can swivel a bit, but not as much. That front bang is not holding together too well at all. I think it's this style of plastic. It's not doing too well. These 2 side bangs here, I'm not sure why they're here. They could have been doing without being there. But it's basically to hide the fact that there's a gap in the neck region. Oh, and I should say, don't even attempt putting the sword on with the Super Saiyan 3 head. It will not fit. I have tried. I was devastated when I found out. But yeah, you can swivel the head and not too much tilt, a tiny amount. Neck goes back and forth, all that good stuff. As I said before, that peg is glued in there, and it seems deliberate. There is glue round about it, so it's not even as if it's stuck. I think they did that just so it would be more stable. Which, I mean, to be fair, the head does feel a whole lot more stable than even my Super Saiyan 3 Rose Goku Black hair did. So yeah. I think for the rest of this articulation segment, I'll actually pop that off. I just sent the stand flying. That's what that noise was. It's just a lot easier to do the articulation this way. So arms can go up that far until they pop out. I mean, it pops in easily enough. Just doesn't feel too secure. So yeah, can go up that much. Can swivel unimpeded. These caps here are... they do not even look like the same shape for that gap. Frankly, I think I'm going to take those out once this review's over, because it will give him some more range and these won't stick. It is 3.0 articulation right enough. So the vest, thankfully, is very soft. It gets right out of the way. It's as if it's not even there. It does bunch up a little bit, but that is just to be expected. That arms fell off again. Come on, pop on, stay on this time. And obviously we have all of that rotation right there. Bicep swivel, double joint at the elbow, ball hinge at the wrist, which is to be handled with very, very kid gloves, put it that way. Let's see if we can do a crunch, kind of. We can get with that much. About the same as Beast Gohan, to be fair. He can do the arch back that much. Swivel, bit of pivot. Nice stuff. Test to see how easy this comes off. So that comes off really easy. That's good. That'll make my kit bash later a lot easier. Legs, and there's that side coming off now. Come on, get in there. Legs are these are the Trunks legs, the Boy from the Future Trunks legs. But for whatever reason, this plastic's a bit thicker, so the hips definitely do not lie on this. Can he do the splits? If you manoeuvre it out the way, he can. Yeah, that's actually good. That's pretty good. Just wish they wouldn't have used the Trunks legs. That's popped off. I mean, surprisingly enough, the joints are tight. They're tighter than my Boy from the Future Trunks. But at the same time, they pop off rather easy. So, yeah, a bit of a strange one there. He can kick up that much. Can kick back that much. Thigh rotation. Double jointed knee. Do these move? These boots? Oh. Well, they pop on and off easy enough. It looks as if they were glued, but for some reason they've come unstuck. I mean, I suppose that makes it easier for my kit bash. That shouldn't happen though. That should have been glued tight. But at least you're making my job easier. Okay, the feet are basically just the Boy from the Future feet. They can go down that much, up that much. Ankle pivot goes that far. And toe articulation gets about 45. So yeah, let's quickly... I know this video is getting long, as always. There goes the other boot. Oh my god. Right, so at least the neck peg pops in easy enough. Yeah, those have not been glued on properly at all, those feet. That's a bit of a nuisance. Let's see. So if I pop that through there, Put it over there. There we go. Well, that's good to know at least. I have actually been having a bit of trouble with my Boy from the Future sheath popping off all the time. So if I can glue that peg in place, like this one is, then all the better. But yeah, see if I can pop this on. It doesn't pop, but it does go on. So yeah, looking pretty cool. The shoulders do have a knack of looking as if they're a bit too low, and I think that's because of that butterfly cap sort of thing. But yeah, looks good. I like it. Joints are tight enough, but QC could honestly be doing with a second pass. And now that peg is now permanently stuck in there, I think. Okay then, let's try again, see if I can get the Super Saiyan 3 hair on here. That is looking like a no. Yeah, the sword just gets in the way completely. Oh no. Have we made a gap? We have. We made a gap. Okay. That has kind of worked. That's given me hope for my kit bash. I know I keep mentioning that, but yeah, there we go. Sword fits. So yeah, that looks pretty good. Obviously, I am not going to be able to stand him up now because I've lost my stand. There we go. You can stand in the background. So yeah, guys, overall, it's decent enough. For the amount of accessories you're getting, I could maybe justify the price that he's going for. It's just they really have to work on their quality control going forward. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt because it's their first run around with a third party figure. But yeah, if you're listening to this 3,000 plus channel, 3S Toys, I hope to see more from you in the future, and I hope to see better quality control. And yeah, for the love of God, make an armoured Xeno Bardock if you're doing Bardock, please. But yeah, guys, that'll do it for this review. Tune in next time for part 2, where I try to kit bash this guy into my ideal Super Saiyan 3 trunks. And until next time, I'll see y'all later.